everyone. Quick one from me before we get started today. One of the reasons you might be listening to this podcast is because you feel slightly lost or a bit stuck in life. Over the last 18 months, I've been building a self-led ebook course for you based upon overcoming this feeling. It might be that you are frustrated that you're on this hedonic treadmill of life, despite the fact you've been working on yourself for a while, and with experience should come answers. Or simply put, you're just not where you thought you'd be at this point of your life, and this makes you unhappy. Well, this is where it all changes. You take control of what you can whilst enjoying the ups and downs of life, with the peace of mind that you're doing everything you can to work towards what matters to you. I can remember feeling lost and stuck in jobs and with life in general. All the self-development content out there telling you how to become successful when all you really need to do is find out what success means to you. So, start with this ebook course that I've created for you. 30 days of you taking the time to focus on yourself. Not rushing, not living up to anyone else's expectations, just you getting closer to who you want to become and the life you want to live. Check it out in the show notes and enjoy the show. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Self-Improvement Project. I hope you're all well. I hope you are enjoying the journey of self-improvement at the moment. I've recently been doing a lot of thinking about self-improvement, and I actually think self-improvement is more of a dance. But maybe that's for another time. Rather than a journey or a destination or a process, it's just a dance. Just a dance. Anyway, on top of you guys all feeling well, I hope you are doing things to look after yourself over this winter period. It can sometimes be a bit tough to feel upbeat, whether it be the environment that you're in, just the mood that I feel maybe is the weather influences. So I hope you're doing things to feel good. I once did an episode on the hygge, which is Danish for feeling good during cold wintry days. If you have been enjoying the episodes, please feel free to sign up to my email list. I send out a nice Sunday morning email every week, intended to be enjoyed with a warm cup of coffee and a peaceful mind. So if you fancy that, might be a good way to start 2022. And anyway, let's get on with the show. Today's episode is called Don't Look Back in Anger. And no, I am not going to sing the Oasis song for you. I'm wanting to introduce to you the way of thinking, potentially from a different perspective. Instead of looking forwards, we start by looking backwards. So, this idea you might have heard of. It's sometimes called regret minimization, which I believe the viral video that has been associated with this was through Jeff Bezos, or the term inversion, which I believe I saw from Shane Parrish. And it starts by us working and looking in reverse. So right now, thinking about the next year, you are probably thinking ahead what you want to achieve. A week or 2 weeks ago, I did something about looking ahead but also looking back at the last year. So it's maybe a wee bit similar to that, except on steroids. So I want you to take yourself to being really old. When, maybe you're 100, 80, 60. Whatever you deem to be old in your eyes. And the question I want you to ask yourself is, what do you want your life to look like? So, instead of churning through the days, weeks, months, and years, we're working backwards. Why? When we're programmed to plan ahead, I'm encouraging you to plan backwards. And one of the reasons I really like this idea is not just because it's novel, but it provokes positive action in a slightly different way. It provokes action in a more urgent sense, when sometimes when you're planning ahead you can procrastinate and delay. You can find any excuse under the sun to not do it. But imagine how bad you would feel letting down your older self. Your older, elder, maybe vulnerable self. So, why is this effective? Why is it impactful? Essentially, this can drip down from, let's say, the age of 80. This drips down into the days, weeks, months, years, decades, and influences you becoming who you want to be. Making decisions now for your 80-year-old self is a form of self-care. How am I going to be healthy at the age of 60 if my diet and exercise routine right now is rubbish? I feel that I'm going to be turning 30 soon, so I feel like it's maybe going to be a bit of the same. But work, careers, time spent in jobs can be very distracting. It distracts us from this long-term idea, this long-term vision that we have of ourselves, because the years go so quickly without us noticing and never really doing the things that matter. Yes, we might experiment, we might try things, but we never really, there's not a moment where we ever really know exactly what we're doing or why we're doing it. But imagine you could teleport yourself to being 60 years old and ask your 60-year-old self, did I do the things in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s that help me today? Even if it's these small habits or small activities each day, like stretching or making sure that you're eating enough healthy foods each day. It may sound really simple, but it's important to have this perspective of, am I allowing myself to not separate my life between having peak years and years where I maybe don't feel so good? Life is life. Life is whole. Life is wholesome. And you should not sacrifice certain elements or certain stages of life for others. And this isn't even just physical. What about your mental well-being, your mental state at this age as well? What are you doing to make sure that you're brain, your mind, your mentality is still invigorated at this age. Whenever you see videos of or hear stories of people who are stereotypically labelled as pensioners being able to run marathons or being able to do a certain skill like a musical instrument incredibly well, this is the mental well-being, the mental state that they have not sacrificed but made an agreement with their younger self that they're going to make sure that they are having a good time at this age. So, what do you want your mental well-being to look like when you're older? How will you think? What will your outlook on life be like at this age? What will the quality of your relationships be like at this age as well? How are you feeding that at this moment in time? I think ultimately what I'm getting you guys to ask yourselves is, will I be proud of the person I am when I'm older? Will I be proud of the decisions I made and stood by when I was younger to benefit my older self? Do I have peace of mind that I made the correct sacrifices and decisions when I was younger to make sure that I live a wholesome life for the entirety of it? And that's us. Perhaps short and sweet. Perhaps a lot more we can dig into, but hopefully thought-provoking for you as well. Let me know how you found that. Before I go, I am about a month away from releasing my first self-paced online course. It's called How to Become Unstuck in 30 Days. I've put quite a lot of effort into this, and I want to share it with you. It's not extortionate. It's potentially going to change the way you think, and I want to share it. So I'll pop the link in below for you as a wonderful listener, and also if you're on my email list, you'll hear about it as well. I hope you all have a wonderful week until I speak to you next, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers. Hey guys, me again. I hope you enjoyed that episode, and if you're not ready for the Becoming Unstuck in 30 Days self-led course quite yet, why don't you try my free ebook I created? 5 simple steps to improve yourself and your life. I made this during the very first lockdown of the pandemic in the early days of the self-improvement project. It's a quick go-to when you're feeling unsure of what to work on when improving yourself or your lifestyle. And a great starting point if you're trying to figure out how to live a more fulfilling and simple life. The link for this will be in the show notes for you. Have a good one.